fly a million miles away somewhere, just me and you. Can we go MIA somewhere far from this bush? Let's fly a million miles away somewhere, just me and you. I don't care where we go, as long as so far, so far, so far from here. It's about time I took a little trip. I need to clear my.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy back with another episode of Get It Together with Big Maul, where I'm your host, Big Maul, Molly B, Jamal, whatever it is that you call me. We are back and we are here to get it together. Woo! Man, I feel like everybody just needs to take a big sigh of just relief. Man, it's been a long week, y'all. It's been a long week. It's been hot. It's been like a whole bunch of like heat advisories all around the country. So much going on. We had, as you all know, we had three big celebrity deaths. With Ozzy Osbourne, Hulk Hogan, and Malcolm Jamal Warner. Which Ozzy Osbourne, of course, I know who he was. I know that he was in the music. I know he's in the entertainment industry. I know that was, Sharon Osbourne's husband. Didn't listen to his music, but I know that, he was definitely big. Hulk Hogan as well, what he did for the wrestling business, and, controversy over the racial remarks that he made, years ago and whatnot. But then Malcolm Jamal Warner, which just that one hit me because it's just, man, obviously I didn't grow up during during the Cosby Show era, from like what, 84 or 85 to 1992. So I wasn't even around then during, the times that it originally aired, and, during that time period. But I definitely grew up on a lot of the classics, such as the Cosby Show. Theo Huxtable was the cool character. He was the only guy in the sibling wise. It was just a bunch of women, and he was the only guy. And he was cool. He was hip and he was smart. He was very intellectual and independent, and then to get to see him do other things. Malcolm Jamal Warner, to get to see him do other things in his life after the Cosby Show ended, to see him just continue to grow and evolve as a person, a husband, as a father, stuff like that. It was very sad for him to pass away. It was very sad. So some sad celebrity deaths over the week, man. But I hope you guys have been okay. As I always say, hope you've been drinking your water, staying hydrated, eating healthy, moving your bodies, and being good human beings, being blessed. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. But I do wanna hop into it, man, to just talk about death. Talk about um we're not necessarily talk about death, because obviously you don't know what death is. We don't know what death is until we experience it. But I want to talk about, like, just life, before life and death. It's one moment you're here. One moment you're here with your family, and the next minute you can be gone. You know, I don't know what Ozzy Osbourne passed away from. I read some things about Hulk Hogan passing away from cardiac arrest, and, Malcolm Jamal Warner drowning. So, but you just never know. Life is very, 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 very unpredictable. Um, it's just sad because, you know you don't a lot of times you don't get to say goodbye to your loved ones. You don't get to say goodbye to your coworkers sometimes, or just, the people that you love. You're not able to say goodbye to them oftentimes, unless it's someone on their deathbed, and they're about to pull the plug, and you can kind of just, I guess, get gather your thoughts and get yourself together and prepare to say goodbye to somebody. But a lot of times that's not the that's not the case, and it's very, very, very unfortunate. But for me, it's like, Excuse me. But for me, it's like my today is the July 28th. It is the four-year anniversary of my sister passing away. Well, my god sister, but it's the 4th anniversary, and it's always tough. It's always tough because that was one of those unpredictable, random um deaths that I've experienced in my lifetime. And I didn't get to say goodbye. I didn't get to say goodbye. And like I said, it was random. We didn't see it coming. And I always think about, I wish that I could have. You wish that you would have known certain things were happening, so that you could do something about it and try to prevent it from happening, so that the outcome would be different and you wouldn't be going through this, and the person would still be here with their loved ones, with their kids, and with you. And it hurts. It hurts, and it hurts. But um, you got to remember, when your loved ones pass away and they transition on, you have to find the strength in that, and the love, and the encouragement in that. They would want you to continue to press on. They would not want you to cry. They would not want you to beat yourself up about the fact that they're no longer here, and to just continue to just live your life. And that's the way that you could honor their lives, is to continue on, and then they're always in your heart. You hold the memories of them just near and dear in your heart. And that's what I try to do now. And I encourage all of you to do that, that have lost somebody, whether it's years ago or recently, and you pray that you see them again one day. But what's more important is, while we are here, there's something important that you need to do while you're here, and that's find your purpose, and leave an imprint on this world. Find the world, or make the world a much better place, and leave it a much better place than when you found it. When you enter this world, you know we you don't know what's going on, as a baby, as a toddler, as an infant. You don't know what's going on in the world. You're here, you're born, you come into this world with nothing. And then as you continue to get older, you find out things about yourself. As a kid, you find out, you know you develop a favorite color and a favorite food, and you look at superheroes and things and people that you want to be or emulate, and there's things that you want to do in life or become in life. And then you get older, as a teenager, you start discovering more and more about yourself, your likes, your dislikes, the people that you like to hang around and not be around. And then you become a young adult into adulthood, and you start really mapping out your life and what you want to do, um, to be truly, truly, truly happy. You start thinking about your future. You start thinking about, whether you want to have kids, whether you want to get married, you want to buy a house one day eventually, you want to have all this money, what do you want to do? What is it that you want to leave? You want to leave a legacy, especially if you have kids. You want to leave a legacy. You want to leave a blueprint for your kids to just live by. And you also want to break down barriers, and kick in doors and walk into these buildings, to allow them to not have to do these things. They can just walk in the room and just introduce themselves, because you already made a mark. Your name is now a household name, and you've gotten your hands dirty so much that they don't have to get their hands as dirty to have certain opportunities and do certain things in their lives. And it won't be as hard for them, because every generation has their hard. Our ancestors, they they were slaves, and there was segregation. And you think about it, segregation wasn't even that long ago. My grandmother died at 93. You know what I'm saying? So that's not 93 years. She died in 2019. 93 years is not that long ago when you think about it, that to have segregation, and to see that, and then to move on from that, and for it to be able to what turn in what it is today. but still, they had their hardship. And then, you know, every generation, like I said, had their different hardships. And now we're in this era of social media. We're in this era of influencers. We're in this era of I got more money than you. I'm more popular than you. I got flashier clothes and jewelry and houses and all this other stuff. And you're not important if you don't have this many followers, and so on and so forth. And I have a 9-year-old daughter, and I want her to know that it doesn't matter. Don't even compare yourself to these people on social media. It doesn't matter how many followers someone has, likes, views, comments, shares, none of that stuff. It doesn't make you any less important than they are. You know what I'm saying? And only thing that you need to draw from these people is motivation. The only thing you need to draw from these people is motivation to just continue to follow your dreams. It doesn't have to be what they're doing. You don't have to do what they're doing. You create your own lane, find out what you want to do, and then just do it. But I want to be able to set the blueprint that dad did it his way. Dad wasn't afraid to ask for help, obviously, but dad wasn't also afraid to do it alone. He wasn't afraid to do it by himself. He wasn't afraid of what people may say or think, or who won't support, or who's going to try to derail him from his dreams, or who's not going to agree. Dad did it. Dad did it. And he created his own lane. He did it in his own time, created his own space. And if he can do that, I can do that. And then, there's always wisdom. I'm going to pass down things to look, excuse me, things to look for, and things to prepare yourself for, and all of these different things. And it's just important to leave something with your kids. And if you don't have kids, if you never ever have, if you plan on not having kids at all, still, you're here for a purpose. Find your purpose, and then just jump into your purpose. Jump into what makes you feel alive, and what keeps you up at night, and what feels like just burning inside of you, and you have to get it out. You have to just bring it out into the world. Um, I think it was Nipsey Hussle that said that, when you create a thought, that thought comes from a higher source with it, which is God. And when you see that thought, you see it for yourself, or you have that thought for yourself, and then you bring it down, and then you put it into the world, and it gets out to the world in whatever shape or way or form that it gets out into the world. Whether you're a musician and it comes out in your music, or if you're an actor, it comes out in your philanthropy. If you're a business person, it comes out in the way you present your business, and what you are selling is whatever it is. And you just put it out into the world, and you impact the people, and it's going to reach the people that it needs to reach, that it's supposed to reach, that it's intended to reach. And you just continue to just do that, and you stay yourself, you stay humble, you stay yourself, and you never change. If you're changing, just make sure it's in a positive direction. You continue to learn more about yourself, learn more about what you're doing, and you continue to network with people that are like-minded as yourself, that are genuine, that will support you, but will also give you advice, and are not afraid to withhold information. And they will also walk into rooms with you, or speak your name in rooms that you haven't entered yet, but they want you in that room, and they, you know, hold they talk to the people that can get you into these different rooms. And that's important too. You need to have people around you, a solid team around you, that will propel your name just as you'll propel their name. But it's what you do, it's what you do in the meantime, it's what you do in the midst of all of that, even on the days where you feel tired, even on the days where you feel like you want to throw in a towel, because you having a bad season, and you start those thoughts creep in, and you start asking yourself, well, what if this isn't right for me, or what if I'm never gonna get to where I want to go? And there you go, you start comparing yourself, and that's the thief of joy. We know that we're taught that, we hear that. And you start comparing yourself, and then you just start getting down on yourself again, and you look in the mirror and don't like what you see, and it's just goes south. But there's no way that anyone can get you where um you want to be, ultimately 100%, unless you be yourself, unless you try and try again and fall and try again and fall and try again, and you keep going, you keep going with the punches. But what's important is that you keep getting up, you keep getting your behind up. Like I was running over the weekend, which I do every weekend, and I was running my 3 miles, and the entire week I was thinking about it, like, just ready to do it. And then when Saturday came, I was like, I got on the road and started running, and I was like, oh man, I'm not feeling it. And I wasn't sore from working out during the week. I wasn't, I wasn't like, my body wasn't like tired. It was just like my mindset was like, it's Saturday, you've been working all week. It's Saturday, time to sleep in and just relax. You know what I'm saying? Take advantage. But it's like, this is only I think my fourth week now that I've been running on Saturdays. So it's like, do I stop or do I, keep going? Do I push past this mental barrier? Because it's early in the morning, it's 6 a.m. So I mean, I'm gonna run. It's only take me 30 minutes. I'm gonna run, come back, shower up, and then I can relax the rest of the day. And then I can relax on Sunday. So I still have my 2 days. But it's get up and just do it and just fight through it. And then when I got done and I pressed stop on the running app, and I looked at my time and I still got my time, and I was like, I was tripping and I still did it and I felt great. I felt great. I felt accomplished that not only did I just do the run, but in the time frame that I wanted, but it's the fact that I did it regardless of how I was thinking, not how my body felt, how I was thinking. For whatever reason, those voices were in my head. I didn't listen to them, because then if I chose to stay in and sleep in my routine, I would have been thinking, later on in the day, like I did not complete my routine. I did not push past those mental barriers. And now I've proved that a thought can change me and deter me from doing something that I know I want to do deep down, that I know I need to do deep down for myself. And if you let those thoughts conquer what you want to do, then they will continue, because it shows that they have power over you. But you have to conquer your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings. You have to. It's not only just during an argument when somebody tries to get up under your skin and make you mad. It's not only when your boss says something to you that you don't want to let slide, or a friend or whatever. It's when you're in a routine. It's when you're developing new habits to better yourself. It's when you're trying to eat right. It's when you're trying to do right. And those thoughts come in, they try to creep back in. If you're not careful, they will run your life. Okay? They will run your life. So develop those habits now, early, young, and continue to keep those habits, because they shape you. They help shape your life. They help shape the way that you carry yourself. And also, you can't give anybody any advice if you don't have the proper mindset. If you're not living that exact same life that you're preaching to somebody else, if you're not pouring into your cup, you can't pour into anyone else's cup. And the only way to pour in your cup is to be real with yourself, is to do things that are hard, and it's to challenge yourself. You got to do all of the things before you pass anything down to anybody else, before you give anybody any type of advice or outlook on life. What's your outlook? How do you feel? What are you telling yourself? Doing for yourself, not to yourself. What are you doing for yourself? Boom. Come on, man. It's your life. It is your life. You wake up every single day and you get to decide the type of life that you want to have. You get to decide the type of life that you have, and that you can change if you're not happy with it. If you're not happy with the way that you feel, if you're not happy with where you at currently, you can change it. That's all you have to do, is change the way you walk, change the way you talk, change the way you operate, change the way you think, and change the way you move, and then boom, life will start changing for you. But you have to make the effort. You got to just get up and you got to just go. And if you're not going to do any of that, then God ain't going to take care of nothing. You're going to sit right there, because God ain't going to move unless you ready to move, unless he knows you ready to move. If you feel like you ain't ready, then he gonna keep you in that same spot, especially if you ain't showing effort. Especially if you ain't showing effort. You're not about to do all of the work. You ain't gonna do all of the work now. You gotta help yourself. You got to help yourself. You gotta put in that effort. He not gonna drop it just stuff in your hand. He know you gonna fumble it because you're not ready. It's your life. It's your life. So while you are here, before it is your time, what are you doing? What are you doing? How are you living? What are you gonna leave behind? What can people learn from you now while you're still here? Never mind flowers. You can get flowers from the people that you're supposed to get flowers from. But there are always people watching you, whether they say it or not. But while you are here, what are you doing? What is your life looking like? Seriously, what is your life looking like right now in this moment, on this day, in this moment, wherever you are, whatever time it is that you're listening to it, whatever day it is that you're listening to this? What is your life looking like? If you were on your deathbed right now, what would you be able to look back on your life and say? The good things, not the things that you had fun. We're not talking about the trips. We're not talking about any of that stuff. We're not talking about no parties. We're talking about things that can carry your legacy on, that can be passed down, that people can learn from you, that they can incorporate into their lives, whether it's immediate family members, whether it's coworkers, whether it's strangers that might have found your content page or your business, or if you were a doctor or a nurse and you touched lives, whatever. What is your life looking like? What is your life looking like? Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, leave something behind. Leave something behind. Leave this world a better place than when you found it. Leave it a better place than when you found it. If you're confused by that message and you like, well, I don't know what to leave behind in this world. Well, it's time that you figure out what your purpose is and dive into it. Period. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. Enjoy your week. Don't let it be mundane. You dig what I'm saying? Stay hydrated. It's hot. It's hot. It's only gonna get hotter. Do all the right things. Go work out. Go drink your water. Eat your fruits and your veggies, and go out and get your life. Go out and get your life. Okay. Go out and get your life. I love y'all. As always, be blessed. And thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hitting that share button, downloading, streaming, checking out my content, commenting, and reposting, and all of those things. And don't forget, follow me at Jamal Butler on all social media platforms. And holla at me, inbox me, tell me how you feel. Let's talk, let's chat. And as always, I will catch y'all on the next episode. Be blessed. Peace.
So far, so far.